Welcome to the coffee club. We hoist our cups and then glug glug. A finer group of friends you will not meet. Coffee Club!
It's a Coffee Club on a Friday morning, the 3rd of May. Jesse, Josh, and Haley, and we got a full room, and I just officially decided that one of our guests can come every week because he brought breakfast burritos, Josh.
That's right, with brisket.
And with brisket inside. Oh, man. It was very good. You know that May is beef month, right?
Yeah, May is beef month.
And so we got some great beef month topics here, and we got a room full of beef producers and folks that work with beef on a daily basis.
Yeah, and everything from raising them to cooking them. We got the whole works from start to end.
All right, so we'll start in the back. Kelsey Ruggles joining us here, and we're going to let her do some of the introductions here as she brought a bunch of people. You kind of ramrodded everybody together, right?
Kind of, yes. So it started with a crazy idea that we should hand out beef sandwiches during parades, and
great idea, by the way.
That doesn't happen with just one person. So I first contacted the two craziest women I knew, and that was Janet and Wendy, and they said yes. And we quickly figured out that it was awesome to have Adam involved, and that was really awesome. So the group together makes it work. I don't know how many sandwiches we've given out. I was trying to think of that. 1,000, 1,500, easy. So it's been kind of fun, and it's neat to see everyone's got it figured out now when we come through what we're doing, and they kind of get excited about them. So
not just kind of, you really get excited.
Yeah.
So tell us, who did you bring with you?
I'm gonna let them do some introductions.
Okay, well, let's go around the room then. All right.
Jason Timmerman. Family's been in Southwest Nebraska for 50 plus years.
All right.
I'm Taylor Ruggles. I don't know. Mom told me to come here. So
Yeah.
I'm here.
You've been for Coffee Club before, though. Yeah. Okay.
I'm Janet Rippey. My husband and I raise cattle, and we both work in the beef industry as well.
Okay.
My name is Adam Siegfried, and my mom also told me I had to be here.
That's how it's going to work, right? Yeah.
I own the Coppermill Steakhouse here in McCook, Nebraska, obviously.
All right. And he's the one that brought us the burritos. Thank you for the burritos.
You're welcome, man.
They're really good. Well, we got some brisket in there.
Yeah, a little brisket, little eggs, little peppers, and potatoes.
Yeah. Ooh, those are good. All right.
Bacon.
My name's Nathan Rippey. I've been around cattle all 18 years of my life.
That's right. Whether you wanted to or not, but
yeah, I was there.
It's a part of it, huh?
Mom told me to be there.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thanks for coming in. I want to say a genuine thank you to all you guys, because beef is so much of our economy here in Southwest Nebraska, and local beef's an important part of our diet really around here, right, Josh?
Our diet around here, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we eat quite a bit of beef. No, it's fun because, I grew up in Kearney, and even though I was next to a cornfield, we had no cattle. I didn't really know what working with cattle was until I moved out here. And then when I got out here, all my friends were like, "Oh yeah, come on over. We're doing a branding." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. What's that?" And they said, "Well, just bring some dirty shoes."
That was the only.
And I found out real quick.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of fun to see this economy and a lot of the kids nowadays, when they graduate, they're going back into the agriculture side of things, and everything that they do, they have a purpose. Like a lot of my friends, they knew that they were going to come back on the farm, but they went to college for this reason, to help out the farm, and that reason.
That's really good. So let's talk about a little bit of your part of beef agriculture here in the month. So, Jason, let's start a little bit with you. What are the things that you do with the beef industry?
Well, our family, we finish cattle. So we get them in any weight from 400 to 900 pounds. We feed them a high concentrate diet that's balanced, and then we work with a processor and ship them on a consistent, timely basis.
All right. And when they leave, what weight are they usually? Somewhere around?
A lot of the heifers are 14 to 1,500 pounds, and the steers are 14 to 1,650 pounds.
Wow. All right. And Kelsey, how about you? What's your part of the beef industry?
So our family is just a family operation. We have a cow-calf operation, and we also do seed stock with Ruggles Angus, and just kind of a diversified ag operation. But we do have commercial herd that we sell, and we background cattle. We work with timbermans on some of that kind of stuff as well. And then we sell the seed stock, selling bulls to customers in kind of Nebraska, Kansas, and a little bit of everywhere.
Okay. All right. We're going to skip over Janet. Tell us about your part in the beef industry.
Yeah, so we run a few commercial cows on our operation, and then predominantly I have a software company, and I work with seed stock producers all over the nation, people like Ruggles Angus that sell bulls. So I work with them doing their production sales predominantly. And then my husband works in the bull stud industry. So we're both very involved in the beef industry in different aspects.
Okay.
And I know she knows a little bit about it. I don't know if you can talk about it much, but there's a lot of schools like in Nebraska and some surrounding areas that are now looking at, raised cattle to be processed and bring into the schools instead of the schools buying from big trucking companies, right?
Yeah, we're super excited. We're in the process of trying to get that program up and running at our school, hopefully coming this fall, that we can start bringing in some home-raised beef and really ramping up our lunch menu program, and we're excited.
That's pretty cool. If somebody wants to learn more about that, where's kind of the place to look and find?
Yeah, I would say they can contact me or the Southwest Foundation. We're going to be working on that to get that going.
That'll be good. Adam, you're kind of the other end of the business here. These guys do a lot of the hard work. You do a lot of the other hard work.
I'm kind of where the steak meets the plate. So hopefully I give the Ruggles and Timmermans everyone justice on the plates there. But we serve up steaks and burgers and all the good stuff. We try to pretty much predominantly use certified Angus beef and stock herds Angus beef, which is upper 2/3 of choice to prime. There's different grades of beef, so it does make a big difference for sure. We do some stuff locally. It's considered locally. It's in Nebraska with Kingley Angus, with some custom cut stuff that we do with dry age beef. And the dry age side I think is pretty fun because literally 1% of beef that is harvested goes into the dry age program, which is basically, pretty small fraction. I did not graduate high school. Or no, I did graduate high school just to go to college. Fractions and math, 1% is not very much.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure, maybe.
Yeah, I might clip that one out. Yeah.
What's been your favorite dry age that you've worked with?
Because
was it the Jack Honey one?
Yeah, we've done some wine infused ones and some Jack Daniels ones, and honest to goodness, those are kind of cool and kind of showy. But I still just like the good old 45-day dry age one. So
just a show of hands, who has had a dry age steak?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. If you have not, let me put it this way. I had a kind of a special day. It was one of those, it's time for a treat for me one. And I went out to Adam and I said, today's the day. I'm going to have one of those. And it's a different experience. It is. It really is. But it was absolutely delicious. Yeah, for somebody that has not had one, what's the best way that you describe the difference?
You get in some pretty intense flavors after 60 days. We try to keep it kind of dulled down a little bit, but the texture's different. It has more popping, more like beef, intense beef flavors that you can kind of equate to kind of some cheeses.
Yeah.
So people either really like it or they don't. It's definitely an acquired taste a little bit, but it's definitely an experience that you can get them a cook for a relatively small price. Like we're one of 3 steakhouses in Nebraska that do actually dry age programs in-house, and we actually have one in Kearney, so we're 2 of 3. Yeah. So it's a pretty cool experience.
All right. Do you ever see McCook people in your Kearney restaurant?
Occasionally, and our Kearney restaurant's so different than our McCook restaurant. I probably should have named it the Coppermill, but here we are. But,
very good. Well, I tell you what, this is an important part of our economy here, and glad to have you guys here for this. Let's start some of our topics, which actually fits very, very well. Our weekend poll actually works with beef today.
Our weekend poll is, how do you like your steak? So you can actually go on our Facebook page and vote for that. But of course, there's rare, medium, and then what is it? Well done.
Well done.
No, unfriended and blocked.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know after like medium rare. But
So, Josh, you've always said that it's the finger test to figure out how.
Yeah, like you can, like depending on how you touch, like if you touch each finger will tell you a different of your.
Like
Because by the time you get to your pinky and you can barely touch it,
yeah,
that's like well done.
yeah. Adam, what is the most commonly ordered?
The medium rare.
Medium rare.
Yep, for sure.
All right, so we'll go around the room. Who's got the mic back there? Okay. How do you like your steak?
Yeah, I'm a medium rare.
Okay. All right.
Same.
Okay. Kelsey, how about you?
Same here.
All right.
Medium rare.
Everybody medium rare in here?
Oh yeah.
I'm
a rare, medium rare.
yeah, I'm closer to the rare. I like it to where a good vet could bring it back, maybe.
A lot of times, like, so if I go to steakhouses and stuff, I'll say chef's recommendation because there's a lot of different cuts, and each part of the beef, I think, like the chef knows, like, okay, well, a sirloin is better cooked at this point compared to a ribeye. Like a ribeye, I would say, can handle a little bit. Like you can have rare
For sure.
with a ribeye, but sirloin, you kind of want it a little bit more cooked.
Yeah.
As long as you just give me just a little dab, it doesn't have to be very much. A little dab of the raw horseradish to go with it. I'm a happy guy.
Actually, what I always
Love
do
that.
is I always get a medium rare steak, and then I'll order a side of au jus.
So, and I'll leave this up for anybody in here, but how many people do you think eat their steak too soon off the grill?
A lot.
That's a big problem, isn't it? So how long should it actually sit?
A minimum of 5, if you can 10.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
So what happened?
It's a long time to wait. It really is. And a lot can happen in 10 minutes too.
So what's the science behind that?
So it's basically allowing all those moisture inside of the steak to basically kind of, I guess, rearrange itself back into the steak to where it's absorbing it, so where you just don't cut open the steak and it just pours out microglobin.
Yeah.
So, which is a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I let my briskets rest for a minimum of 5 to 7 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cooler.
That's what I do, 12 hours.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
It's a labor of love.
It is. So you got to have grill snacks.
You do have to have some grill snacks.
That's what I always tell people. Like, everybody was asking me, like, oh, how come your brisket is so much better? And I always tell them it's like because the resting period is just as important as the cooking period.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's always like the day before that I'll cook it. And like, if I know I need to have it at noon, then I'll try to have it done at like midnight.
Yeah, so the briskets that's in those burritos right now, that started at 8 o'clock on Tuesday, and I was up 4 or 5 different times during the night checking those when I was cooking briskets and some pulled and some pork butts the other night. So and it was finished basically at 7 a.m. on Wednesday.
Wow. Real quick, what's your favorite grill snack?
Whiskey.
Okay. Okay, how about you, Nate?
Beef sticks probably.
Okay.
Jerky something.
Well, sitting there sipping on a good cocktail is pretty fun.
Yeah. Josh?
Classic hot dog.
Yep.
I'm gonna go the bacon wrapped little smokies.
Jalapeno. How about you guys in the back there?
Well, I'm probably too lazy to make grill snacks, I guess, but yeah, a nice drink would be beneficial.
Be all right?
Well, I'm not allowed to have alcoholic beverages, so I'm gonna go with like chips and dip or something easy.
Yeah.
Like jalapeno poppers.
Yes. Big fan. Absolutely. So our next topic for Coffee Club here, if you could have any celebrity endorse your beef or restaurant, who would the celebrity be and why? So who wants to go first? You got the mic. If you could have any celebrity endorse your beef, what would you say?
I'm going to say Al Gore, not because I'm an Al Gore fan, but that he's so big on climate change, and that would mean that he would acknowledge the fact that the beef industry is not the demise of the climate change.
Look at that.
We do, in fact, only contribute, less than 10%. So.
I like it. That's good.
Strategy.
Who else has got an answer for that one?
That's hard to top.
I know.
Yeah, she thought long and hard about
Yeah,
that
she went
one.
like political and I liked it. Mine would be John Candy, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
You know, the old 86er, and I just love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do.
All of a sudden, I have visions of him and a shovel and a big,
Yeah. You should have saw the
T-Rex
toast. Couldn't
steak.
even get it through the door.
I would say Dana White,
Okay.
just because, like, if it's good enough, he'll spread the rumors for you.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Kevin Costner.
Okay.
I would just have to go with someone big. I don't know. Tom
big.
Cruise. Yeah. See, Adam. If Adam would be like, "Yeah, go Ruggles," I'd be like, "Okay, buddy."
He kind of does.
Yeah, he kind of does. It's okay. It works.
All right, Haley. I know you don't have a. You just like the Kevin Costner because the Yellowstone. Didn't
Rip.
Yeah. Yeah. Rip.
She would want Rip to endorse her cattle.
Matthew McConaughey does a good job with what he does already, so that would be all right.
There you go.
I like it. What is the quirkiest or funniest thing that's ever happened on your farm? Do you guys have an answer for that one? What is the quirkiest or funniest thing that's ever happened on your farm?
So, our family is very big on Smokey and the Bandit, and like my dad and I will go back and forth just like quoting all day, like get started and it doesn't stop. But one of our favorites is when they have the door open on the car and the truck drives by and slings the door off, and he just yells, "Put the evidence in the car." So anyways, my dad has this little Yoda-mobile, we call it, to go check cows in, and the front bumper, something happened, we're not going to go into detail, and the front bumper was holding on by a thread, and I got out to open a gate, and I just like tore it off because it was like dragging. So I'm like sitting there holding it up, and Dad just goes, "Put the evidence in the car." So it was quite comical.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Who else got one? What's the quirkiest or funniest thing ever to happen on the farm or restaurant?
So I'm gonna tell a story on Adam actually.
Oh boy.
'cause we used to
Live
all
radio.
work
There we
together
go.
at Heartland. We were
Yeah.
breeding heifers, and so we had to heat check, which means you're out all hours of the night, no matter the weather, checking these cattle. And this huge storm came in. He was pretty little, I think, and it was hailing and sandblasting. It was horrible, and so to take cover, he crawled into the bunk, and he was laying in the bunk and waiting for someone to come around and pick him up because we were a long ways from shelter. And we found this little kid laying in the bunk for a long time.
He was this close to using a lightsaber and
was.
just, you know.
Things got a little weird, Heartland.
You remember that one?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old do you think you were?
Oh, I would have been probably 10 or 12, probably 12, maybe a little older. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's funny when people like I used to have I actually have a background in cattle, which is really freaks people out sometimes. So, but
Anybody else got a story? Quirkiest or weirdest thing that ever happened?
I had a lady one time that asked to speak to the owner, and this would have been 10 years ago. And I've owned the cotton mill for 14 years as of Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I show up to the table. She goes, "You're not the owner." I said, "Well, what?" I said, "I'm pretty sure I am." She goes, "No, I know the owner. You're not the owner." I'm like, I don't have like any credentials on me, but I am definitely the owner of the.
You see my tax return?
Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty fun.
How about you, Josh? Quirkiest, weirdest story being on a farm?
So the only thing that I can, because I used to help like the slatteries and the kikers, and there was one time that I took a break, and this was from shearing sheep. I took a break and I went and sat on the cooler, and then all of a sudden everybody just backed away from me, and I'm like, I don't have a clue what's going on. And I said, "What's going on?" And I think it was Jerry Kiker. He said, "When I tell you to run, run." And I'm like, "Yeah, right." And he got in his pickup. I can't remember what he used, but he said run, and I ran, and this snake jumped. And it was right between my feet, and I had no clue. And it was a rattlesnake, and he shot it.
Haley, you got one? You got one from the farm?
Not really.
Okay. Kelsey?
So I think this is a loaded question because every day on the farm can be kind of comical in some way, and especially when you work with your family, if you don't laugh a little bit, it can get a little bit awkward. But so the one that came to mind when I saw this was a couple of years ago. We were pulling bulls out of pastures, and so we went down to catch cows and took like a pickup and trailer and a side by side. And we ended up bringing an extra pair home, and so there wasn't room in the trailer. We just had it in the back of the stock trailer to bring the side by side home. So we left it there at the pasture, and a day or two later, I went back down to check waters and get the side-by-side and bring it home. And we cube our cows, or cake them, so to speak, give them the little treats. And so I threw them in the back of the Ranger, and I get in, and I'm driving up to a spot to cube the cows, and the cows are all coming, and I'm calling them. And as I'm driving, and it's hot, it's like hot, like, I don't know, a couple summers ago.
Like July hot.
Yeah, and so I'm out there in my shorts and tennis shoes, and I'm driving the Ranger down through this pasture, and I felt something on my leg, and I looked down, and there was a bull snake coming out of the steering column, and it was on my lap. And
Did you wreck?
I jumped out. And I think the funniest part might have been my phone call to Jeff later when I finally got through to him, because there was a lot of words said, and most of them were I quit. And I begged him to come pick me up, but he pretty well told me to suck it up and come home. And so I had to get back in there and drive it back onto the trailer, and I didn't want to. So,
But he would have came and got the kids.
I don't.
We were with Dad. We witnessed the moment.
I think he would have told them the same thing too, but oddly enough, I think he is as freaked out by snakes as I am, so he would have been just as hysterical as I was. But yeah, I'm not a snake person, so that freaked me out a little bit.
Spiders get me more than snakes.
So I got a quick little. Go ahead.
You can see and hear snakes. Spiders, they like come up into your stuff.
Yeah.
Like doing severe weather.
He was doing severe weather one time, and one literally dropped down on his leg while he was doing it. And if it was just like a thunderstorm or something, we'd take a quick break, But no, tornado warnings were like, we're wall-to-wall coverage.
And they got some pretty good grip, because I was sitting there smacking it off my leg and it wouldn't move.
Nice. So one of my farm stories, I used to work on the farm for my great uncle up in the Sand Hills. And I have told this story before, but it's been a long time. But up in the Sand Hills, where there's no such thing as a cab on a tractor, and all the tractors they're completely rusted out, but still work like forever. And so I was driving what's called a sweep. And we'd have the big windrows of hay. And it was this tractor that they took all the gears and reversed them around. So you had 4 reverse and 1 forward. So you're driving this tractor backwards. The chair is moved around too. But so anyway, we're out there in the middle of this field, and this storm is coming up, and I look over the horizon, and mind you, I'm probably 12, 13 years old at this time, and I'm driving this tractor, and I look over there, and there's a tornado that had come down, and I had never seen a tornado before, and while I was really thought it was really cool, at the same time, my great uncle, we called him Unky, he was driving the loader. And I'm like using my hat and waving. It's like, yeah. And he's like, hurry up, get done. Because he didn't want the hay on the ground. He didn't care about the tornado. So, small things, yeah.
The other one they wanted me to bring up was it was really dark when we got done working, and I peed on an electric fence.
That'll happen. We've all done that. Something you only do once.
Yeah. It was shocking.
I saw my brother do that when he helped me chop ice in Springfield, and he laid his head down on it to rest.
Oh.
He was going over the tank, and he put his head down to rest. And
I can get you good.
woke him up, which he needed.
Yeah.
Is that Ryan?
Yes, Ryan.
Yeah. So Ryan would have been a year ahead of me in school.
Yeah. Got a few questions for everybody, especially, talking about Beef Month here. And Kelsey, you can start on this one. How has the recent rains really affected your beef herd? So,
They are vital. I mean, when we weren't terrible bad, but without those, we don't have pasture to put the cows out on this summer, and so it takes a huge stress off our shoulders, and it's good, very good.
So for a little larger feedlot, what does that mean for you guys when you get some of these big rains like that?
It's just all relative to what Kelsey said, the pasture conditions, and I mean, it's not just Southwest Nebraska, it's the whole country.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some of the biggest challenges that you guys face as beef producers? I know there's a lot of them, but what would you say?
The political stuff. There's always another front coming at us. I mean, just here lately, we had bird flu, and I think some of that got made up to a bigger thing than what it really was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, that was in the dairy herds, and it directly affected our price.
Yeah.
Then we get tests back this week, and it all comes back negative in the beef.
Okay. One more question. This is for anybody here. What new technologies or practices improve your efficiency for your beef operation? How's things changed the last 20 years?
So like one thing we started using, I don't know, 5-6 years ago was embryology. And I mean, that was really cool to me. Right
You're
off
going to
the
have to
bat.
explain that. I have no clue what that is.
Well, so like we use overstimulation drugs and stuff to make more eggs in cows. So I mean, they have upwards of 6 to 20 eggs, and then we actually like flush them out and take each individual egg and put it in a different cow. So I mean, instead of having one calf out of this great mating, you were having up to 6 to 20. So we started using that, and I mean, it's pretty cool. They go in and they ultrasound and they put it in the left or right ovary, and I mean, it's not really like technology, but it's definitely something that's evolved a lot, and I don't know, it's been pretty cool, especially for a young kid like me to see and watch.
Anybody else just impressed you knows that?
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. It's a great compliment. Yeah, it is. It's important. And you know, our next group of leaders, we got a couple of them in here today, but if we're not replicating ourselves as beef producers and things like that, you know, that next generation is just as important as the one we got going right now.
Actually, I actually did this as a college stats homework assignment. I had to find a study that was done, and I found that one of the biggest struggles to AI in cattle, artificial insemination, it was finding when they were in heat. So, couple guys, researchers, they figured out that if you put a pedometer on a cow, then there's a direct relationship between physical activity and estrus when they come in heat. So if you put a pedometer on your cow, you can more...
Are you talking like a Fitbit or what?
Yeah, Fitbit. Go buy a bunch of Fitbits and put them on your cows. Not saying a lot of people do that, but it has been proven.
So there's a great opportunity for some innovation right there. There is. So
You can run around.
Yeah.
What's-
Track your cows.
what's the difference between grass-fed and grain-fed beef? Is that a polarizing thing in here or not?
Not probably so much in here, but different sides of the states or country definitely is, I think.
So what's the difference?
Well, flavor profile to me is huge, and also how it finishes. The marbling won't be nearly as good in grass-fed. The fat tastes different because of everything that's in grass. But if you want to get real technical, technically corn's actually a grass, so
What?
yeah. So I mean, everything actually is technically you could say is grass-fed because corn's actually a grass.
So what's preference in here then?
Corn-fed
Corn-fed.
Corn-fed.
all day.
All right. I got a T-shirt that says corn-fed somewhere. Kind of like that one. Next question. What does the future of beef production look like?
Well, this is just one comment on it, but right in here, Taylor and Nate, these kids coming up, I think are very vital. And kind of to go back on your first question of like the problems that we're facing right now, political is huge. Just the people that we're trying to feed, a lot of them, not necessarily much in this area, don't understand what we're doing or that we're doing the absolute best to our ability, and everything that we give the cattle is for benefit. So that's really hard. But even that, then labor force, beef production, whether it's even cow-calf or all the way to the restaurant, is not exactly an 8 to 5 easy job. And so to find people to want to come do this is getting more and more challenging, I think.
Anybody else? What does the future of beef production look like?
I know on my side of things, I'm starting to get. I will over the next few more years, I will continue to get more and more beef locally sourced than I will from probably a few big packers. So we have a little more control over some of that stuff, and it's funner. I like it.
It's good. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
It does make a difference.
On that other note too is like, so usually if I have a question about beef, I call or text Adam, and I've been able to, with like some of the fun that I get to have, I'll contact him and say, hey, can you get such and such product in, and he'll say yeah. And it was probably 2 years ago we could get briskets at $1.49, $1.79 per pound.
Yeah, it might have been longer than that, but it wasn't too long ago.
Well, my son's been married for 3.5, 4 years.
So and then now it's Like I ended up paying like $5 almost a pound.
Yeah. Supply and demand.
It is.
But the equity across the board, I mean, we have to pay
Yep.
Yeah.
double
Goes
a
up.
calf. I mean, it's all just a crush margin.
It's all
And
relative.
it's just we're getting more for the cattle, but we had to pay more for the input.
Sure, absolutely, all the way around.
Labor costs have gone up, and not just us. I mean, everyone has
everything.
gone up.
Everybody. Yeah. All right. How about you there, Taylor? What do you say? What do you think the future of beef production looks like?
Well, like Mom touched on, like people coming up, going into not just ag, but like beef production. I can only think of 5-10 kids in my 500 school that are gonna go beef. And I mean, you think about like back in the day, how many people probably went from, you know, city kids and they're like, well, I want to go ag. Like, I feel like it was, you know, a lot of people are like gonna go ag. And that's just, for being a high school student, like you really see, especially at a bigger school, you see that ag's not really a huge thing anymore. I mean, it is, but it's not as big as it should be, I feel like.
And we need you. We really do.
So is that what you're planning on doing in school?
What?
Is going like full beef or?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 110%.
I love it. Last question is for everybody here for the beef side here. What's the most rewarding aspect of being a beef producer? So, Nate, you get to start. What's the most rewarding part for you?
Just at the end of the day, seeing all your success and your hard work actually paying off, getting to see the final product, and knowing that you actually made a difference.
It's good.
Me is if I'm sitting at the copper mill or at home and I gave the steak enough time to rest and
Yeah, there you go.
and just wow,
Yeah.
what great flavor, how good it can be.
All right. Kelsey, how about you?
On that same note, Jason said, yeah, I mean, to go sit down at the mill or at home and have a darn good steak and know that that's the product that we're producing. And then on the other side of it, like as the family aspect, to me, like watching our kids grow up in this environment that gets to me every time, because and it can be a little challenging, especially when you work with your teenage daughter from time to time. We may or may
Both
not.
ways, right?
Yeah. It's both ways. But to see what the kids have done and the skill sets that they've started off with has been pretty, rewarding, challenging too.
Yeah.
But and then sunrises like this morning. That's kind of our office view, and that's pretty cool.
Very good.
Mine would have to be like coming from a cow calf operation. Like we're in the middle of breeding season right now. So watching these cows come into heat, breeding them, watching them all summer raise a calf in their stomach and on the ground, and then here comes the next calf crop. So I guess for me it's just watching the full circle movement go around and checking cows in the summer and seeing those calves and being like, oh yeah, I remember like picking you up almost dead and now you're this big monster bull calf. It's just, it reminds you of when you're out at 3 a.m. trying to keep calves alive, that there's sunshine at the end of the rainbow. So
Very good.
Yeah, I would agree with everything that everybody said, but probably just the opportunity to work with family, teach your kids work ethic. There's just no better way of life, I think.
And for you, Adam?
Yeah, it's probably just, producing a great piece of beef and giving people the opportunity to try amazing beef in a little different ways and imparting a little knowledge to them about, what the beef's all about. Like we did a deal in Denver a year and a half ago, and it was half producers, half kind of city folk, and you forget how disconnected we are from our food chain, especially when you go to like a place like Denver, and people start asking you questions that we take for granted, and we need to answer those questions because people need to know that we're producing a great product and the best we can, and we're not a big harm to this great world of ours.
There is a lot of people behind that steak.
Yes,
there is. So Haley, we got a bunch of giveaways that they put together. Do you even know everything they're giving away?
So I heard we're giving 3 giveaways away, and I heard there's some beef jerky, a gift certificate to the copper mill.
Yeah, bring those up here.
A
We'll get them further.
T-shirt and a hat.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we got gift certificates to the copper mill, beef sticks, see if we can display all these here. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I like that hat. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're not giving away the hat. It's going over here. No, nice. It got a nice hat. Certificate to the copper mill. Willow Creek meat beef sticks. Yum. And then nice shirt here. Did you guys just get these done?
We did. We had to add everybody's logos.
Beef. That's what's for dinner. Only if I could say it like Sam Elliott.
And have a great mustache.
Right. So we got 3 of these to give away. Let's give away one on air. 345-5598. 308-345-5598. And we'll do one on our Facebook page. Okay. So type beef on the Coyote Country Facebook page. And Josh, you can find one of those here in a minute.
All right.
And we'll save one for the end of the show. So next topic for Coffee Club here. At the end of the school year, a lot of times kids will go on field trips and things like that. So my question is, what was your best or worst field trip? Who's got an answer for that one?
I got a worst one.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Nate.
So seniors, we actually go to the unicameral. We take a senior trip, and our guide, I don't know if she didn't know where we were from, but she had to explain to us how farm works. And she told us that hay bales were made 90% oxygen. Were made of 90% oxygen, 90% air.
Fact checker.
I'm gonna Google that.
I will tell you on that kind of same note. So when I was in school, at that time, our senator didn't really know any of the answers to the questions that we tried to ask. And like here we are from rural Nebraska, and we're asking all these questions, and he goes, well, I don't really know how to answer that one. Well, I don't know really how to answer.
Plead
that.
the fifth.
And it's just like, how do you not know how to answer it? And we're all intrigued on these are current situations that are going on that are affecting our area. And we're like 18.
Should we just make like every state senator from across the state always have an FFA kid with them at all times?
Yes.
You like that?
It would be beneficial.
Just to pay attention a little bit.
And so it was so funny because our teacher at that time in government was like, so what'd you guys learn? And we're like, absolutely nothing on the whole way home. And we had to write a paper. And so I got an F on my paper because in capital letters on my paper, I put nothing.
I think my best one was we went 2 weeks on a 4-H trip to like Canada and DC and New York. Wow. So I was an 18-year-old kid with half girls and half boys on a trip. That was pretty fun. And then the worst one ever was when we had to go to nothing against the city wastewater plant, but that was some smells and things that I'll never forget.
Decided that was not going to be your line of work.
No.
Yeah. All right, Janet, you had one?
Yeah, so just recently, last Friday, I did the kindergarten field trip. I always do an ag day for them, and I try and bring in animals, and we teach them about agriculture. And so Josh Neal, shout out to him, he brought in some baby goats. They were like 2 weeks old. And so the kids just like all laid on the floor, and then the goats just like bounced from kid to kid and jumped on them. And the kids, so much fun.
In the city, you can charge like $100 an hour for that.
That's yoga.
Yeah, it's like
Goat yoga.
for kindergartners. It was so much fun.
Field trips.
So I guess both of mine are from FFA. Like my favorite one, we went to state FFA and we toured the governor's mansion, and that was cool. It was really neat, but we weren't allowed to go in bedrooms, so we didn't get to see how fancy it all was. But it was kind of also boring because she would sit there and we'd like look at a piece on the floor, and she would like talk for 20 minutes about the history of this floor, and it's like, do we care? No, not really.
Yeah.
But it was pretty fun. And then one of the worst ones was we went to the Speedway Museum in Indianapolis, and we'd sit for like 45 minutes at each car, and there's like Lord knows how many cars in there, and go over the history of the paint and the wheels. And I was like, okay, let's just look at the cool cars and walk right by. But it was fun still.
Mine was probably Pioneer Village. I loved Pioneer Village because I think I was a third grader or something like that, and it was really good. I don't know if they even still do that anymore, but always loved going there. Especially when we went back, and it was middle of the afternoon, I remember, and they had one of the shops was cooking cookies or something like that, and that was one of my best. How about you, Haley? Any best or worst field trips?
I mean, for me, elementary school, we went to the Children's Museum in North Platte, so that was pretty cool. But like, I'd say high school wise, I'd say anywhere we went for FFA was always really fun. So,
Anybody in here ever chaperone an actual field trip? I know you did, but
No, I
Not
don't-
really field trip. I'm sorry, Josh, but like I've got to take I guess Glenn's class of 8th graders to state FFA, and that was a fun trip
yeah.
for the day.
I don't think you want me chaperoning. That'd probably not be good.
All right, Haley, who did we have as our winner for the one of the giveaways?
So we got William
yes.
Hornynick,
Okay,
William and Heather.
okay, and so you let them know that they won.
Yep.
Okay, and who
And
called
that
in?
was our Facebook. And then, yeah, our called in one, I believe, is Delbert. I don't know. It's out on the front desk now.
Delbert Laws.
Yeah.
Delbert
Yes.
Laws. Yep, you bet.
So I think we still have one more.
One more to give
To give
away,
away.
Right before we take off today. So stick around for that. I think we're just about ready for the birthdays and the anniversaries here. But before we do that, life's simple pleasures or what smell instantly takes you back to your childhood. You can answer either one of those, okay? What smell instantly takes you back to your childhood or one of life's simple little pleasures? Adam, it looked like you got a chuckle, so.
This one happened to me like a couple weeks ago. So, and if you're on the farm, like everyone had like a single cab truck, and like you open up the door and it smells like tractor grease, cigarette smoke, and dirt, especially when it's hot.
Not
And that's
necessarily in that
still-
order.
and like diesel, and it's like the greatest smell in the world. And like I literally got in to pick up the other day and had like a flashback. It was like 1989, and I'm bebopping with a cup of hot chocolate, and my grandpa's smoking Marlboro Red, you know, looking at corn. It was amazing.
He did say corn. By the way.
Corn.
Corn.
C-O-R-N.
We need
God
to-
bless Larry.
We need to enunciate that really well. So
I'll go along that same note. Grandpa Bud he drank PBR,
yeah,
and so or Fat Tire, and every time that I pop open like a PBR, it just always just goes back to like when we were fishing and
that first smell.
that first smell of the sweet nectar.
All right, Jason, how about you?
Well, the silage harvest, that smell, and then the springtime when snow's melting and there's a lot of stuff underneath the pickup and it's burning off the manifolds. And my girl sure raised heck what smells.
Okay.
On a little different note, I would go with lilac bushes because my mom had a ton of lilacs around our house, and that's a really fragrant, distinct smell. And I don't have any in our house, and so we were somewhere once and like walked by. I was like, "Whoa!" It hit you pretty hard.
Just a
Remember?
flush of memories, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and my brother used to have a really big obsession with distillers and distillers pile. Walking across the middle of them, getting stuck, all that fun stuff. So I don't know, whenever I smell like distillers or a fresh ration, it just takes me back to my little stupid days.
6 months ago.
I'd say liver and onions. My mom used to make it all the time, and
So is that a pleasant?
no, not
Oh,
pleasant. And I never had it since I left home, and
Just
probably
she has
never
to
will.
make
He
eat
hasn't had to have it.
Nope, never had it.
So good.
You got to make the onions just right. Just right. Anybody else? Instant smell that takes you back to your childhood or one of life's simple little pleasures? Okay. Last thing we have here, of course, the Kentucky Derby. 150th Kentucky Derby is happening this weekend, so a quick little game. We're going to play. I'm going to give you the name. You tell me if it's a real Derby horse or not. Okay? And so who wants to go first? Who's got the mic? Okay. Janet's got the mic. All right. I'm going to give you a name. You tell me whether or not it's a Derby horse, okay? Jed Clampett.
No.
She says no. She's correct. Adam, Fast and Fury.
Yes.
It is not. Okay. Nate, Epic Ride. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, it is. That's very good. All right.
Do you have the one we're supposed to bet on?
No. Okay. Yes or no, Jason? Uncle Heavy.
No.
Is it? It is. Uncle Heavy. Yep. How about, let's see. Kelsey, you're up. Tuscan Gold, yes or no?
Yes.
It is. Okay. All right, Taylor. Wiggle Room, yes or no? Is that a Derby horse?
No, because there's not a lot of wiggle room in a Derby run.
Well, she's right. Okay, who didn't get one? Adam? Okay. Yes or no? Catching Freedom, Derby horse or no?
I mean, I like America, so yes.
Yes, it is a Derby horse. The purse is $5 million, which is $2 million bigger than normal. Anybody ever been to one of those fancy races? Yeah. Did you wear a funny hat?
My wife did.
Oh, okay.
It's a big deal. You got to wear a funny hat.
What do the guys got to do? Anything special?
Had nice sport coat, everything on.
Yeah.
Mint juleps.
We're at the Preakness, and it was a different drink, but it was the specialty drink, and we made sure we drank a lot of them.
So that's what's going to be on special this week?
It might be because I'm actually at a Derby party in the Sandhills. I got to cater for 300 people. So,
Oh, wow.
sure. Yeah, head on out there. They'll make you up one.
That'll be fantastic.
I will tell you, Seth's mom, Karen, she makes a heck of a mint julep. Probably about one of the best ones I've ever had.
Prove it. We're ready for the birthdays and anniversaries here from Hometown Family Radio's Coyote Country. And so if you know anybody who's celebrating a birthday, get a hold of us here at the radio station, 345-5598. Or you can post those on our Coyote Country Facebook page that's streaming live now, and we'll try to get those on the radio for you. Anybody know anybody that's got a birthday here today or this weekend?
My grandma turned 88 yesterday. Ethel Siegfried.
Okay, who else?
We got Josh Verbis, and then Wyatt Harris has a birthday, and Caleb Sugaroo.
Haley?
None for today.
Okay. So my birthdays include Missy Nelson. You see Missy. If you know Missy, light up her phone. That'd be fun. Rebecca Wolcott's got a birthday. Kim Rouse, Victoria Kramer, Jennifer Allen, Josh Verbis, Crystal Weber, and Jamie Weiss with birthdays. Those are the ones that I have. So we got to pick somebody as a birthday winner to get some pretty cool prizes to give away.
A donut from Sanert's, ice cream from The Scoop, sandwich from Jimmy John's, and Coca-Cola.
All right, who do we got?
I think we got to go with Josh Verbis.
Okay, Josh, come by the radio station and pick that up here from Hometown Family Radio's Coyote Country 105.3. Before we give away that last prize package from all the folks for the beef industry here, let's do the celebrity birthdays. It's a race against Josh to tell us why these people are famous. Sugar Ray Robinson.
Boxer.
He's quick, by the way. How about Dwayne Haskins?
Quarterback.
For who?
Ohio State.
Passed away in 2022.
Went to the Steelers. Passed away.
Yeah.
He's looking at the screen.
I can't read it.
Christina Hendricks is 48 years old here today.
Actress.
Model.
Okay. Yeah. Actress. But what was she in?
Mad Men.
Yep. Mad Men. She was also in Life as We Knew It, and Drive was the other big one. Frankie Valli.
Singer.
Yep. Adam got you on that one. Can you tell me any songs from Frankie Valli?
Oh.
Big Girls.
Big Girls Don't Cry and Sherry was the two big ones. Put a little heart into it, would you? Bing Crosby.
Singer.
Yes, pop
Christmas.
singer. Yeah. White Christmas was the big one for him, and sold more than 500 million records with that.
With a B.
Yeah. Eric Church.
Country singer.
Yeah. Tell me a song for Eric Church. What's that? Springsteen, she says. Two Pink Lines.
I was waiting for you to say that. We have one of our listeners, that Two Pink Lines is his favorite song.
And he probably requests it
Weekly.
weekly.
Yeah, definitely weekly.
Yeah. We don't play it every week, but We we don't want to be the Two Pink Lines radio station. James Brown, singer,
Dancer.
I'd accept either. Funky soul singer. He gained fame for his "I Got You, I Feel Good" song. Have you guys ever tried that? Go and scare somebody with turn the volume all the way up.
I wow.
I feel good. Da, da, da.
I was gonna, that's where they like put the speaker in the fridge. I was waiting. I was gonna do it to her.
Put the speaker in the fridge.
It was really funny. Probably.
James Brown was born this day back in 1933. Let's check tomorrow real quick, see if there's anybody famous. What's that? 5, 4. Audrey Hepburn.
You don't know what tomorrow is?
What? Star Wars Day?
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you.
And Luke Olson's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He never hears the end of that, does he? Randy Travis got a birthday tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Yeah, country singer.
Okay.
One of my all-time favorites.
Favorite Randy Travis song?
So it's not his song, but he would sing that one, the train song, King of the Road.
Okay.
His version of King of the Road is awesome. And then also he sang George Jones' song, The Chair, I believe, right?
Yep.
He sang that at one of the things that I was at, and that was phenomenal.
My favorite is probably Three Wooden Crosses. That's a really good one. Nobody really famous on Sunday either, so 'tis a wrap on that side. Well, we're about ready to wrap up Coffee Club on a Friday morning, the fastest hour of our week. And we got one more giveaway to do, Haley.
Yes. Let's do caller number 3.
Caller number 3 at 345-5598. That's 345-5598. Gift certificate to the Copper Mill, also some beef sticks, and a cap and a T-shirt. It's nice little giveaways.
I like that.
Just boom.
Just right back down, hanging up.
You are not the winner.
Everybody
not
can
the
watch that on Facebook. It's like, boom.
Well, we'll go around the room here real quick and just let everybody give a parting thought about May being Beef Month. How about you? What's your... Yeah, Nate can start. Yeah.
Eat beef.
Eat beef. All right.
What are you doing after school? Where are you going?
I'm going to UNL, or Ag Systems Technology. It's basically like precision ag. Just another name for it.
All right. Jason, how about you?
Nate said it just right. Eat
All right.
beef.
Okay. Kelsey?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the eat beef, and I just thank this group for being here and letting you guys letting us help promote beef. And we're just a tip of the iceberg of the beef production community around here in Nebraska. So eat beef.
Yeah, support your local beef producers.
I love it.
Yeah, I would say if you have questions about beef, how it's raised, ask a rancher. Don't Google it.
Yeah.
All of us are more than happy to answer your questions and eat more beef.
I got into an argument with somebody about raw milk, or like fresh milk. Mm-hmm. That's just like, 'cause I was like, oh man, it's been a long time since I've had just right off the tee.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's real bad. Like, that's not healthy for you.
How?
And I'm like, you tell me that how almond milk is healthy for you.
I don't know who gets up early in the morning to...
Milk almonds.
Yeah. Adam, parting thought for the Copper Mill?
I would say, we're awfully lucky to live in Nebraska. We literally produce some of the best beef in the whole entire world. And I remember going to Thailand and seeing in downtown Bangkok at the Hilton, they were promoting Nebraska beef in Bangkok, Thailand. So, it is international, and we literally raise some of the best beef in the whole entire world.
I love it. Everybody, thank you for being here. Thanks for what you do. I do appreciate it. I'll have me a big old steak tonight. So that is a wrap for Coffee Club on a Friday morning, May 3rd, 2024. Happy